Hey, before we get started on this episode, I just wanted to make a quick note. Next week, there won't be a new episode of Better Call Saul. Yes, I know this is unfortunate that we're doing this again, but that's because of Christmas, because when I would normally record the next episode is the week of Christmas, and honestly, I want to take some time off at Christmas, so yeah. Next week, no Better Call Saul. We will be back in 2 weeks for Season 1, Episode 9. So yeah, that is pretty much that. Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Better Call Saul. Last time on Better Call Saul, we had bingo. A sin upon humanity. It's why the human race will eventually fail and die. Anywho, but more to the point, Jimmy was dealing with the Kettlemans, who left HHM in anger because they were being treated as if they were guilty, even though they are. So they went back to good old James Morgan McGill, and they were like, hey, you can help us. And Jimmy decided, okay, I gotta get rid of these people. So basically he had Mike steal all the money, including the money that Jimmy took, and had him send it to the DA so that it would knock some sense into the Kettlemans, and it did. They have decided that they just have to go through with the deal at HHM, and yeah, Craig will be in for 16 months, but good lord, 16 months is better than 30 years. So that was that. Also, the reason I call it a sin upon humanity, and we referenced bingo and stuff, is because Jimmy was hosting a bingo game. Anywho, that's pretty much that. So, we might as well get into this episode of Better Call Saul. Here we go. No, it's Jimmy.
Hey, Gene. Thanks, Jimmy. Trina.
Hey, Jimmy.
Is this another flashback? Hamlin McGill. Alright, so this is back in the day. He used to work the mailroom while he was getting his life together.
So what does it say?
Oh! It must be good.
Is this a joke?
No joke. You passed the bar?
Hey!
Yeah, I did.
This must have taken you years. And you kept it a secret all this time.
Wow.
Why? You didn't come to me for help?
Jesus, Chuck, you're the busiest guy I know. I mean, you're doing important shit.
Wow, pass the bar in secret.
I don't know what to say.
Are you proud?
Once I get sworn in and everything, consider hiring me.
As what? Oh, a lawyer.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the question I'm going to have to take up with Howard and the other partners.
Yeah.
You know.
The second Hamlin. Who's the other Hamlin, by the way?
Look what you've done here.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Please sit down.
I don't like that that we can't hear this. Oh, is he telling him he can't use his name? I hate that we couldn't hear that.
Let's reassess in 6 months. Thanks for understanding, Jimmy.
Is he gonna destroy the cake? I don't like that we're hanging on this. Oh, that was not good, was it? Ah, God, the tarantula!
Oh, you could keep the will until I get my allowance, and that should only be until the end of next week. They take out what they need, and then I get my allowance, and all the rest goes into my savings account.
That doesn't sound right.
That's how they do it for everybody around here?
Well, yes, they try to make everything easy for us.
I don't know.
Mrs. Landry,
That's
are
a
any of your
little
friends
sus.
around who I could...
I think it might be Q-tips. I can't tell. It's probably an accident, but we should look into it, don't you think? They're not doing this intentionally.
Oh, he's gonna... They've got a scheme. And James Morgan McGill's here to tear it down.
It's a clear pattern of overcharging. Nothing huge, but adds up to real money. I mean, here, look. This woman, she got soaked for like $400 last month. And there's a pretty solid attempt at concealment of that fact, which, to my way of thinking, makes it fraud.
Oh.
This was in work I did?
No.
Yeah, I'm working on getting more info, but this could be big. I mean, this could be a big case, right?
It sounds like it.
It could be class action.
What do I do now? I mean, what next?
Well, you're gonna need more information. You don't want to go off half-cocked.
Full cock.
Right. The full
now-
cock. Alright, this is an interesting plot line.
We are obligated to protect our residents from being harassed, and we have the right to refuse entry.
I have clients in there now. They have a legal right to meet with me.
What? You'll just have to arrange to meet them elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
Making Soylent Green back there, it's... All right, okay. I'm backing away. Yeah?
Way to make yourself more sus.
Sir, are you all right in there?
We believe that breach
Is he writing out a suit?
Finish up and come out now.
contact by the end of the week, or I'll be forced to move forward.
I need you to
This
finish
is a
up.
demand letter informing Sandpiper
No.
Crossing of spoliation. That's what it's called. And it's a felony, so call your lawyers right now. Tell them I said that. Me, James McGill, Esquire.
Ugh.
I'm telling you guys, big mistake.
Oh. Did that not work? I need your help. Ugh. Jimmy.
Hey,
Oh, Stacy.
anything you need, I'll be there.
You can get off work? I don't want to impose or anything.
Anytime.
Just go. Fucky stick is. Oh my god, is he gonna sneak in there?
Jesus.
Into the garbage can, flyboy. Just close your nose, don't think about it, and go. I'm doing this so hard, my neck is twitching. Ugh.
Damn it.
Ah, old people shit diapers.
It's not like we're close to being done. I mean,
Oh,
can't
no.
you get somebody else?
James McGill.
Mr. McGill, Rich Schweikert of Schweikert and Coakley.
We're the law firm representing Sandpiper Crossing Assisted Living. How are you this evening?
Quite well, thank you.
Been better.
How are you? I'm at the opera.
Oh, what opera?
Magic flute.
Mozart. Lovely.
Well, I'll try not to keep you. We
Okay.
received something from
Something.
you today, and we're not quite sure what.
It's a demand letter.
Ah, maybe you should walk me through what you're alleging here.
I believe it's all in the letter.
I'm not saying it's not, but it's a bit hard to read.
Next time I'd use double ply.
Nuh.
Not fi-
Sorry for interrupting your evening. Enjoy the magic flute.
Blow my magic flute.
Nuh. Yeah. Ow. Got hit on the way out, too. Ah. And he didn't even get anything. Is that a recycling can? For paper? Please tell me that's not a recycling can for paper. God damn it. Is he gonna try to piece it back together? Look at how much paper he has to deal with. This is why you should put stuff in a fire. Boy, Jimmy's got a lot more patience than I do.
A lawyer shows up, starts figuring out their little scheme, and suddenly this? No, it's not a coincidence. It's in here.
Well, at least it's not cross-cut.
Nuh.
Look.
You know who could find stuff in this place? Mike. Might be time to go to him. God, this collar is so loose. I mean, he worked through the night. I like how Chuck is sort of grounding him, but is supportive of this little endeavor. Well, not really little, but you know what I mean.
Oh, good, you're up.
Wow.
Morrissey Medical Supply, Lincoln, Nebraska. So?
Trust me. Meanwhile, we need to start pulling case law.
Hey.
Any precedent dealing with...
We're working together on this?
That's up to you, Jimmy.
I'd say yes. That doesn't come with Hamlin, does it? Oh!
All right.
All
right. All right.
McGill Brothers.
Jimmy, that's going to be thousands of pages.
Pretty pleased with sugar on top? Come on, you owe me one.
Yes, I do.
Nuh.
But this is going to take hours. And who do I bill it to?
Bill it to Howard.
I still remember his code. 1933, same year Hitler came to power.
Nuh.
You're not funny. How does that work? Chuck's a partner at HHM.
So what? Like, I know Chuck's partnership agreement chapter and verse. He can work with outside parties.
That clause is intended for small-time stuff. Pro bono cases.
So I'm Bono. I'm very Bono. Chuck's
No.
a rock star.
Yeah.
Okay? They'll work it out.
And Chuck can handle this? Last time I saw him, he was...
Last time you
Saw him, he wasn't himself. Okay, this is good for him.
Yeah, probably. Play-Doh.
And you know, if you don't separate those, you're going to end up with brown.
Brown? Brown bricks.
Hey, we're in here. Oh, we're playing sculptor. She's Michelangelina.
What I want to ask you is, can I spend this?
Stace, if this money helps you and Kaylee, if it does a single good thing in this world, you spend every penny.
Nah, yeah.
It's a relief. It'll help a lot.
Money for a good cause.
Yeah, I couldn't get it fixed for 100 miles. I had to have it towed to Telluride. It was unbelievable.
Oh god, a fax machine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Mel, can I call you back?
They faxed over the documents.
My brother Chuck has a certain sensitivity. It's a medical condition. This is the price of admission.
Yeah, I heard about this. Go ahead, it's fine. There you go.
Wow. It's crazy to have visitors in
Make
here.
yourselves comfortable, gentlemen. Chuck, come on, buddy.
Man, he's all dressed up.
All you gotta do is sit there and look intimidating. They're scared of you already, and they should be.
He's got his hair slicked back, too.
Charles McGill. Let's go. Let's go get him.
Oh, come on. I mean, he hasn't worked in 2 years.
Let's call it $100,000 even. We admit to no wrongdoing, and your clients release all claims.
That was a lot of talking you did.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Go Cornhuskers. Nebraska, although they both begin with the letter N, actually turns out to be a different state than New Mexico.
Are you trying to make this a RICO case?
Like our client is John Gotti or something?
Yeah. You know as well as I do, RICO's used mostly for business beefs. You're looking at treble damages, so your $100,000, I think you know where you can stick it.
What number exactly did you have in mind?
20 million.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Oh, you can't expect...
$20 million. Or we'll see you in court.
Damn. That's the only thing he said in this conversation.
20 million?
Didn't you hear them? This is a big company. 12 separate facilities.
It was not supposed to be
They can't
20.
possibly all be in New Mexico.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure everything that's happened, but 20 million. That's a lot. This is a very, very big case, apparently.
You still in touch with your people?
Depends on the type of work you're looking for. Your do's, your don'ts, your wills, your won'ts.
You tell me what you got. I'll tell you what I'll do.
Interesting.
It's in the car. Just give me a minute. I'll go.
He's falling asleep.
Chuck?
He just walked outside.
Chuck?
Yeah.
Alright. You good? Huh. Huh. The man just walked outside. Walked outside, got the thing, unlocked Jimmy's car, opened it, got the thing without even realizing, though. Also, Jimmy's car is good enough that it has a electronic lock. That's incredible for the crap car that he has. Could Chuck be faking it? Could he be faking it, or was he unaware? I mean, I feel like at the very least, we can rule out medical. Because medical, unless he's just been cured. But I don't think so. When he just walks outside, it makes me think he's faking it. But why would he? But then, at the end, that makes me think perhaps he's not faking it. He just in his head, it just took over. You know, I feel like at some point Chuck has to die, by the way. Because he's never referenced in Breaking Bad, you know? Or, I don't know. Maybe not die, but something. Something might happen. Which is why he would be out of the picture. See, I wanted to look at his reaction specifically. Because when he hears Jimmy, he says, yeah. And he realizes. It's not a, yeah. Oh, it's not like a, he just then realized. See, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced either way. I am not convinced either way. Is he faking it? Has he been faking it this whole time? Or is there something happening now? Like maybe because he's getting back into being a lawyer, everything's it's starting to fix itself, you know? And he has been working towards improving himself. I'm not sure. But interesting stuff. So, let's go ahead and jump into the notes. So, the first thing I wrote down is Jimmy passing the bar exam. So, I like actually that he kept it a secret from Chuck that he was going to become a lawyer. I like that. And it's interesting that, you know, he used to work at HHM just as in the mailroom. But he wanted to do more, so he decided to become a lawyer, which is pretty cool. And I do like that he kept it a secret from Chuck. That was pretty interesting. And yeah, that back in the day, you know, pretty much the only person he ever told was Kim, his best friend. So I like that. That was pretty cool. Now he did have that talk with Howard. He had that talk with Howard. Technically, we don't know what he said, you know? But Here's the thing, Jimmy. We can't allow you to use your name. We're really proud of you for becoming a lawyer, but we can't allow you to use your name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jimmy, but it's just the way that things have to be. I'm gonna put my cake down right here. And that's the thing. You just can't use a name, because it's gonna be confusing, and I'm a prick with really blonde hair. Anyway, I hope you understand. It's nothing personal. I'm just a giant prick. Do you understand, Jimmy? Do you understand? Alright, good talk. Thanks for the cake. I'm gonna get out of here and go look for more douches like me.
Let's reassess in 6 months. Thanks for understanding, Jimmy.
Now, I inferred a lot in in that dub of the scene, but in my... Oh, I hope I remember to keep the footage on screen for that, because that is kind of funny, just that dub. Now, the whole thing of let's reassess in 6 months, Jimmy. Is that specifically because of his name? Or... I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not sure what that could be. I feel like that's a sort of looming mystery. What did Howard say to Jimmy? I don't know. I don't know what he talked about. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know. All right. So, the main thing for this episode is the whole thing with Sandpiper. Which is very interesting because, honestly, it's interesting how there's, like, no... Well, I mean, I guess the sort of overarching plot of this season is just Jimmy getting his start, basically. Truly getting his start. And that starts with everything of, you know, Slip and Jimmy, which leads to Tuco, which leads to Nacho, which leads to the Kettlemans, which leads to the Kettlemans, which leads to Elder Care, which leads to which leads back to the Kettlemans, actually, which now leads to Sandpiper. So it is just sort of a sequence of events that happens, you know? So that's pretty interesting. I mean, this doesn't follow up with the Kettlemans at all, but it is the continuing saga of Jimmy dealing with elder law, which is pretty interesting. But honestly, it's like, you know, it's interesting, but like, it's not really anything specific, like with Mike or anything, or like other, or Nacho, or any other sort of plot line. It just is Jimmy taking on this big case. And I guess sort of the other big thing is taking on this case with Chuck, which is pretty interesting. So you'll apologize if I'm laid back a little bit. It is the end of the day, at the end of the week. So yeah, that happens. Anywho, so yeah, Sandpiper and fraud, which is interesting. And I like how Jimmy sort of figures that out. You know, at first it seems like, oh well, maybe this elder law thing isn't gonna work out. You know, if they don't have the money, and it's like, well, wait, you know, this elder has an allowance. It's like, well, wait a second, but that's not a thing, you know. And going over everything, and it's interesting too because you know, yes, there's the whole thing of he basically made Chuck do his like filing and stuff for him. He secretly did that, but I like how, you know, they're going over these things and like, well, you know, this doesn't make sense and this, and Chuck is looking at this like, wait a minute, I filed these. How did I miss that? You know, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, this whole thing is very, very interesting. I like, you know, immediately, you know, they see this lawyer talking to multiple people, looking over their files, and it's like, okay, something's not right here, you know? And then, yeah, immediately he's not allowed to go in anymore, you know? Which is very fascinating. And then, yeah, I love that he made, like, to make this official, he went and very, very quickly, like, I guess he was out of paper on his legal pad, so he wrote it on the cardboard and then had to finish everything on toilet paper, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so that was very, very interesting, you know, making it official and everything. And then he went through to find to find the documents that they shredded, which is interesting. You always sort of hear it's like, oh well, if you shred your stuff, so people don't basically people don't get a hold of your stuff. They actually interesting connection. They brought this up a bit on Ashes to Ashes recently, where D.I. Alex Drake was going through and was like, well, basically like here going through trash basically. And was saying, like, you can find out so much about a person through their trash. If people just throw this stuff away, you can get a lot of because they just throw it away. So you would think, you take that extra step and you shred, then it's like, oh, well, it's shredded. What are you going to do? They're not counting on, the McGill brothers piecing it back together piece by painstaking piece. But they did. Both of them started doing that. Well, mainly Chuck did that, but still. So that was very, very interesting. And first off, going through the trash can, this horrible, gross, experience, and then getting out in frustration, only to realize that they have a recycling can next to it. That's just unfortunate. But yeah, but going through that and taping it all back together, like that's a thing. Again, like you think that shredding, like, oh, well, it's shredded. That means it's gone forever. Nope. If you want that to be legitimately gone, honestly, you're going to have to burn it, But that probably makes you look more sus. So, meh. I didn't mean for that to be so loud. Anyway. So, yeah. So that was pretty interesting. And then going to Chuck, and I love Chuck. Like, not only is he, just being supportive and letting him, letting him work in his house because he needs space and everything, but I also like that. He gets into it when he sees how big this is starting to be, and then they partner up. McGill brothers taking on a case. Now, of course, calling Kim and her saying it's like, well, he can help with small-time stuff, not big-time stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It does kind of make you wonder, like, well, maybe in order to do this, Chuck is going to have to cash out of HHM. Then they'll just be H&H. Hop and Hop. And who cares about Hop and Hop? You want Hop, Hop, and Mop. Sorry. That's technically an inside joke. Then it's not going to make any sense if I explain it, so who cares? Anyway. So yeah, so that stuff was interesting, and again, I love Chuck and Jimmy working together. Like that's really, really cool. Now, the meeting was also very, very cool. At first, I thought Chuck was just not going to say anything, or he was just going to get overwhelmed, and it wasn't going to do that. But I like how he basically he sat there. It makes you think he's very uncomfortable, but then at the end, he drops the ball. Well, he drops the bomb. Dropping the ball is a bad thing, but he drops the hammer on them. And says 20 million, which is pretty interesting. Which, according to Jimmy, that's way more than they were thinking about. So, yeah. Now, all the sort of legal technical stuff does sort of fly over my head in that scene when they're talking about a bunch of that stuff. And, stuff with like, well, if this is across state lines and this becomes a RICO case and stuff like that. A lot of that, like, I would need, like, a legal explanation of all of that. But I get the gist of it. This is a big case, and it's even bigger than Jimmy realized because it would result in 20 million, as far as Chuck is aware. So that's all pretty interesting. And yeah, just seeing the two of them work together. And I like how, again, this technically doesn't have anything to do with, like, some of our other characters. Like, this isn't the Kettlemans, this isn't, Tuco or Nacho or anything like that, or it's not something, like, really, really huge, and it's nothing with Mike or anything like that. I like how this really just is these two solving just a case. They're just, well, not solving, but they're just doing this case, basically. And I like that. I like how it's just a case that happens to fall in the lap of James McGill Esquire, So yeah, all that's pretty interesting. And then at the end, again, we get the whole, go outside thing, which is interesting. Again, it doesn't, like, I'm not sure if I'm convinced if, like, oh, he just, like, didn't realize or something, or if it's something weird, or if or if he's been faking it this whole time, and when Jimmy catches him, he just tries to cover up a bit. I'm not sure. We'll definitely have to see later. Probably top of next episode. But yeah. The other stuff, the other part of this episode, is the whole thing with Mike looking after his granddaughter, which was pretty cool, and the daughter-in-law, Stacy, using the money, which, you know, it's bad money, but if it can be used for good, then hey, that's something, you know. So I like that. It's like, if this money can do good, then it should be, you know. Like, I like that. But it definitely seems Mike is looking to get more money, which, I mean, we've always had that in Breaking Bad. That was one of the big plots, was him trying to set aside money for his granddaughter, and, you know, the DEA and everything, they just like kept going with it, basically. They kept pursuing it, kept taking his money, and it kept getting more difficult, especially in season 5. So that's the thing, you know. So maybe this is the start of it. I wonder, it does make me wonder now. I imagine then that he doesn't work for Gus at this point, you know. I imagine not. See, because we asked the question either last episode or the episode before, where I asked the question, you know, how much of, you know, Mike's past before Better Call Saul is him, you know, going in, being sort of the PI, you know, doing some of this, maybe, let's say, extra legal stuff, you know, that we normally see him do, either like when he went and found the money in the Kettleman's house or other things, you know. Like, was he just a cop beforehand? Or is he starting to do stuff now? I have had that question, but definitely at the very least, you know, because they said pretty much he's moved to Albuquerque in the last 9 months. I doubt he works for Gus at this point. So while we know Gus had his empire for like 20 years, then this is, I think someone said 2001, 2002, and Breaking Bad takes place in 2008. So, which, I mean, that's about 7 years then that Mike potentially works for Gus, if we're going to see that. Either in this season, maybe in another season, we'll start to get a bit more of that. I feel like at some point we are going to get that. I think even, and maybe you can count this as spoilers, maybe you don't count it as spoilers. If you count it, if you don't want to hear, then, you know, click off. But I do believe that Gus does show up at some point in Better Call Saul, which makes sense. I feel like at some point Jimmy would probably meet him, or at the very least, with this whole, you know, because the continuing plot with Mike, he's starting to look for work and stuff like that. So probably, but yeah. But that is basically it. Very, very interesting stuff, and I can't wait to see where we are going next time. Although, once again, we are going to be back in 2 weeks because of Christmas. So, yeah, just how it happens. But then after that, we're pretty much just going to keep going for a good while. So, yeah. So, with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Merry Christmas. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around to any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Better Call Saul reactions, as well as another playlist for all of my Breaking Bad reactions. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.